to church every day. We put on our suit and put on our tie. We look our best, and we come in here and we walk away. And the song was good, and we sang it good, and we felt a little something here and there. But what Jesus' congregation? I think this chapter gives us a snapshot of what Jesus had a congregation, what they would look like. What do you mean, Brother Josh? He'd have a congregation full of detours.
Yeah.
The man sick with palsy. That wasn't his plan, was it? Life didn't turn out the way. That man lying there couldn't walk. He'd have a congregation full of detours. Lying there with sick with palsy. But Jesus came by and put him back on the road, back on his feet. And you're going to have congregations, young men, listen, men of God, with people who have had detours in their life. Things didn't work out the way they wanted it, Dylan. They're going to come in there broke down, hoping their marriages would have worked, but they failed. Come in there broke down, they had these kind of plans with Randy, but it failed. They're going to come in there and they're going to need something from you. They're going to need encouragement. You're going to have a congregation just like Jesus had, full of detours, laying out sick of the palsy, can't even get up on their own. And they're going to look to you and say, all right, preacher, give me something. I need something from God. And you better have something inside of you that burns so deep and so bright. You better have something you can give him, John, that says, guess what? Life may have had some detours. Life may not work out the way you wanted it. Life may not be what it all cracked up to be. But let me tell you about one who is the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is the answer. And you'll have the answer to give it to him. That's good. A congregation full of detours, the man sick with the palsy. You'll have a congregation full of deceivers. Jesus sat down and ate with publicans and sinners, tax collectors. You'll have people that'll deceive you, that won't love you. You'll do your best. We talked to preacher the night, Shane. We said, preacher, what do you do? How do you minister to somebody? What happens if somebody's a critic? You're going to have them. You're going to have them. You're going to have publicans. You're going to have sinners. But how did Jesus treat them? He sat down and he ate with them. I've seen my preacher do it so many times. I've seen my preacher, and I love him. And I couldn't help but weep Tuesday night after we left. The wisdom that man of God gave us. He's had critics before. Listen, he's had critics. People talk about him, run his name in the ground, and just completely just talk bad about the man and stab him in the back. And then God would allow that person to get broke and get hurt, and then come to a place. He'd humble them like he always does. And listen, preacher, if you decide to talk about another preacher, God will humble you too. You think you're too good, or you think you got some one up? No. I've seen it time and time again. You think they got a handle on the independent, fundamental, premillennial cares of life. That preacher will fall or stumble, or something will happen. And I've seen it time and time again. Our preacher will walk back in the doors of this church and talk about our preacher. And what does our pastor do? Stand up, John. Hey, preacher. How you doing, buddy? I love you. Life's been hard, it's all right. God's still good. You still got a calling, do something for him. And he'll say, come up here and pray for us. Come up here and give us a testimony. Come up here and give us something. You'll have a congregation just like Jesus sat down with publicans and sinners. No doubt they had stuff to say about him. No doubt they were critical of him. But Jesus had them. You'll have them too. A congregation of not only full of detours, he sat down and ate with them. A congregation full of deceivers. You have a congregation full of diseases. A woman with the issue of blood. A congregation full of diseases. Let me say this. Everyone that walks in your congregation has a disease. They have a sickness passed down from Adam, a sickness passed down from the beginning. When one man sinned into the world, so sin was passed down to all men. And there's a world out there that is sick and that have diseases. I'm talking about, and guess what it is? It's an issue of blood. That's all it is, young men. It's a blood issue. They need the blood. They need the truth. They need God's word. They need to know Jesus died for them. And you'll have a congregation full of diseases. I'm thankful Jesus showed compassion on that woman. You realize those ones that have diseases, she shouldn't have been in there, should she have? She wasn't able to touch nobody. She wasn't able to get around nobody. She wasn't supposed to be able to leave her house because she was unclean. She was a cast out. She should have never been none of that stuff. But Jesus showed compassion on the ones with diseases. Let me ask you, are you going to show compassion on those ones too? When This is what Jesus' congregation looked like. In Matthew chapter 9. If he had a church, this is what it would have been filled with. Now, when that prostitute walks in your church, what are you going to do? When that drug addict walks in that church, what are you going to do with them? When those teenagers that cut themselves, Trey, walk into your church, what are you going to do? They need the truth. They need the gospel. They need God's word. Congregation full of detours. There's a congregation full of deceivers. Congregation full of diseases. Congregation full of death. Jairus' daughter, by the time he got to her, she was dead and gone, wasn't she? At least they all thought so. But I'm thankful Jesus has power over death, doesn't he? He has resurrection power. I'm thankful that even though just like the sermon y'all just read about or just listened to last week, Lazarus was dead, wasn't he? But Jesus has power over death. Has power over those things. I'm thankful for that. What would Jesus' congregation look like, Brother Josh? What can I expect? Should I get out in the world and expect to preach and everything be roses, everything be clean, everything be good, and get up there in that suit and just preach to them and then walk out? Let me say something. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get nasty. There's going to be diseases. There's going to be detours. There's going to be death. But I'm thankful to know that God's Word has the answer. And if you'll just preach it like He told you to preach it, we have the answer. We have the balm of Gilead. We have what will heal their sicknesses. We have inside of us, man, what will take care of their diseases. And I'm thankful to know Jesus has resurrection power. He raised Jairus' daughter. A congregation full of detours, a congregation full of deceivers, a congregation full of diseases, a congregation full of death. And lastly, a congregation full of devils. The last one that said the dumb man, as they went out, behold, they brought him a dumb man possessed with a devil. You'll have some of that in your church too. But you know what? Greater is he that is in you than he that's in the world. We have power over him. Satan can't take power over you. And I'm thankful to know it says when the devil was cast out, the Bible says things bound on earth will be bound in heaven. You have power over all those things, men, in Jesus' name. I'm thankful to know that the one thing, look what happens. It says that when the devil was cast out of the dumb, the multitudes marveled, saying it was never seen so in Israel. And you know what I bet that one man did who the devil was cast out? When it says devil, that means he was the dumb. You know what the dumb means? He was mute. It means he couldn't speak, John. He couldn't talk. Or he could talk, he couldn't understand what he was saying. But you know what happened when Jesus walked by him and healed him and got up and he began to speak? You know what I bet he did? I bet he began to tell the whole world about Jesus. Listen, those ones that are racked with devils, those ones racked with diseases, those ones that have all those problems in their hearts and their lives, those are the ones you've been called to. Amen. Let me ask you, when's the last time you wept over sinners? Last time you wept over the ones that, Trey, I don't know why, it was so heavy on me last time, but keep preaching.
Man.
Don't stop preaching. Don't stop preaching God's word. They need it. Teenagers need it. The nursing home needs it. The jails, they need it. Jason. This church needs it. Canaan needs it. Man. It's a very humbling thing to understand the power that God places on preaching. And I'm more convinced today than I ever have been after watching my preacher. And in 50 years, and then him coming in here Tuesday night, the first thing he says, your faith. You're talking about faith. How to feed it. He said, preach. Just preach. Amen? Amen. I'm thankful to know what Jesus' congregation would look like. All right, we've taken way too much time. Yes, sir.
Can I add one?
Please.
Verse 35.
Yes, sir.
Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in synagogues, and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people.
Yes,
You got a congregation full of deliverance.
Write that down.
There's a great victory.
Yes, sir.
Great victory.
Yes, sir.
What a joy to serve the Lord. The burdens are heavy. You go home and weep. You cry yourself to sleep.
Yes.
It's hard watching people suffer. But oh my goodness, at the victories we get to win.
That's right.
What a joy it is to serve God.
Sure is.